Okay, welcome for our today's class. My name is Boniface Sava, and the lesson for today is geography. And we are going to study as a topic in geography. And what we are going to study today is ocean, seas, and their coastlines. And we are going to discuss a lot of issues with regard to ocean, seas, and their coastline. But some of the major issues that I want us to consider during this study is the definition of what an ocean is. Then we shall study what a sea is. Then we shall see the key differences between an ocean and a sea. And finally, we shall see the importance of oceans and seas in that first part. The second part that we are going to study under the same topic is the nature and movement of water in oceans. Then we shall study the features resulting from the movement of water in the ocean. And finally, to cover up that part of features, we shall study the theory of coral formation across the coastline. And then we will finish by checking the significance of human activities to oceans. We have positive and negative significance, and finally we shall check on the issues to do with blue economy. Well, as stated earlier, we will begin by defining what an ocean is. And actually, an ocean is a large mass of water, a large mass of water that is covering a depression on the surface of the earth, usually so big. Usually so big, I mean, an ocean is the largest water body on the surface of the earth, in that it covers millions of acreage of land if it were to be placed as land, meaning it has covered a very large surface on the surface of the earth. So traditionally, there were five recognized major oceans on the surface of the earth, and that is Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and South Antarctic and the Arctic Ocean. These are very vast bodies of water, interconnected, and play a crucial role in shaping our planet's climate. So the vast water bodies also support a diverse array of marine life and facilitate global trading and transport. What does that mean? It means that there is life in water, in the oceans, and there is also transport activities in the ocean. What does that mean? It means that people can travel from one place to another using the oceans. Actually, by using ships and big boats. A small boat cannot travel for a very long distance in water, but a big ship would actually travel even for a month inside large masses of water, or inside large water bodies. So let us continue. Pacific Ocean, sorry for that, our camera fell down. Sorry for that. So Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of the five oceans. So the Pacific spans half of the Earth's ocean surface. That means it is the biggest. It is the home of the Mariana Trench, and the deepest point on the Earth reaches an astonishing depth of nearly 11 kilometers. The Pacific is also characterized by its vastness, with a width of over 15,000 kilometers at its widest points. So Pacific is the largest. Then it is followed by Atlantic Ocean, which is the second largest, which actually covers the Mid-Atlantic region, the Atlantic and the Mid-Atlantic region, which is stretching between Europe, North America, and South America. Okay, the Atlantic is also home of a lot of marine and mountain ranges inside the water. There is also Southern Ocean, which is encircling Antarctica. The Southern Ocean is the fourth largest of the five oceans. Of course, Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean, which has coral reef, mangroves, and seagrasses. We also have Arctic, which is the smallest of the five, of the oceans. That is the order which they appear. The Pacific is the largest. Then we have Atlantic Ocean as the second largest. Then we have Indian Ocean as the third largest. Then we have Southern Ocean as the fourth, and then Arctic as the fifth ocean. Thank you very much for that part. So let us go to the sea. So sea is partially enclosed by land, but of course is typically smaller than the ocean, but bigger than a lake, and it's enclosed by a land. Like as you can see, Mediterranean Sea on the top of the globe of the world, you can see it is covered by land mass around it. So that is the beauty of a sea. They create a unique ecological condition and influence their physical characteristics, including how they shape the climate of a place and how sea breeze and land breeze affects the agricultural activities of a given area. So the landmass surrounding the sea can act as a barrier protecting it from the full ocean force of the ocean current and storms. This can lead to the calmer waters and a more sheltered environment for a marine life. So water in a sea brings in a more sheltered environment for marine life. Another thing to consider is that there's a way that many seas are connected to large oceans. Like for example, the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea are also connected to something that the Atlantic Ocean to form something that we call intricate networking of waterways. We call it an intricate networking of waterways that facilitates the exchange of water, nutrients, and in both the ocean and the sea for the marine life to enjoy. So those are the two definitions for the two water bodies, and I want to see on the differences of these large water bodies. And one of the differences of these large water bodies is that oceans are vast and expansive, but seas are smaller and more confined. And then land enclosing is minimal in oceans, but in seas they are often enclosed by land. Again, generally oceans are very deep as compared to seas, which are often shallower than oceans. So we also have what we call the importance of ocean, seas, and their coastlines. And one of the importance is that they form the habitat for marine life. Like for example, an estuary would form a place where fish would breed because it's a fresh water combining with saline water to form an estuary. This is where a river actually meets with the ocean. So it forms habitat for marine life. Another thing is that they regulate the climate of an area. Ocean plays a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate. They absorb heat from the sun, helping to moderate global temperature. Additionally, ocean currents transport heat that around the planet, influencing weather patterns and climate zones. Another thing is carbon sinks. Oceans actually act as carbon sinks. Carbon sinks are those that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So ocean acts as carbon sink. They are also providing economic resources. Oceans are valuable sources of economic resources. Another thing is transportation and trade. Oceans have been used for transportation and trade for centuries, connecting different parts of the earth. So oceans are used for transportation. Another thing is recreation and tourism. Like for example, the coastal parts of Mombasa are actually a tourist attraction site where tourists are attracted by what our oceans can provide. Another thing is that oceans can also be used as a source of food. Okay, fish and seafood can be collected or gathered from the ocean. Sorry for lack of a better word to explain that, but I hope you have understood me very well, that oceans can actually provide transport, they can provide food, they can provide habitat, they can change or regulate the environment, they can act as carbon sinks for an area, and all that is included together can provide the importance of why we have water in oceans around. So water in oceans can be very important for us as a country, as a nation, and as East Africa at large, and Africa at large, the ocean, and the world at large, the ocean have helped us to do a lot of things. So let us go and see the nature and movement of water in the ocean. So ocean currents is one way water moves in the ocean. Then we have tides, then we have waves, and we have upwelling and downwelling. What to put into consideration here is that water can either move horizontally or vertically in the ocean. Now, ocean currents, these are large-scale movement of water that circulates throughout the oceans. They are driven by a combination of factors including wind, temperature and salinity, and Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is the rotation of the earth causing the current to be deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. The Coriolis effect. When you push a cup like this, you will see water moving this way and this way. That is what we call the Coriolis effect. So ocean currents are a large scale of water that circulates throughout the ocean, and they are driven by wind. Maybe prevailing wind pushes water, creating a current, or the Coriolis effect, which is caused by earth rotation, and then temperature and salinity. We know cold water will actually go down, warm water will come up. More saline water is heavier, will go down. Less saline water is lighter, it will go up. Same happens to water in the tropic zones and the equatorial zones. Then we have tide. These are periodic rise and fall of sea level, causing primarily by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun. So gravitational pull of the moon and the sun will periodically cause the water to rise or the water to fall in the seas and the oceans. Another thing is a wave. These are oscillations of the water surface caused by wind or other disturbances or other disturbances in the ocean. Now, waves can be classified into different types such as wind waves, swell waves, and tsunamis. Waves transport energy and sediments along coastline, and they might deposit there. And then we also have upwelling and downwelling of water. Upwelling occurs when cold, nutrient-rich water rises to the surface, while downwelling occurs when warm, nutrient-depleted water sinks down the surface. Thank you very much for that beautiful part of our lesson. And finally, we will check on the features created by oceans. And features created by oceans include sandbars and barriers or island. Then we have meanders and oxbows, and then we have coastal cliffs. Then features created by tides, we have tidal flats, we have tidal marshes, and then we have estuaries. And then features created by waves include beaches, sea cliffs, wave-cut platforms, and tombolo. A tombolo is a narrow stripe of land that connects an island to the mainland, often formed by the deposition of sand sediments by waves. Additional factors include that climate of a region can, the oceans near a region can influence the climate or can impact the climate of that area. Okay? And then geology, the underlying geology of a coastline can also affect the formation of coastal features. And then we can check on the theories of the formation of coral along the coastline. And one of the theories, the very known one, is the Darwin's theory of subsistence. This is the most widely accepted theory. Charles Darwin proposed that coral reefs forms in 3 stages, and one stage is fringing reef, barrier reef, and atoll. You've heard of that. That is the Darwin theory. Then number 2, we have the Murray's theory of uplift. John Murray suggested that coral reefs form due to the uplift of land rather than subsidence. According to this theory, coral reef initially forms in shallow waters. As the land rises, the reef grows upwards to maintain its position in the warm, shallow waters necessary for coral growth. And then we have biochem theory. This is the theory that proposes that coral lives from an organic structure similarly to built by an organism like stromatolite, and coral polyps contributes the reef growing to strengthening calcareous skeleton. Then we have the plate tectonic theory, which is a theory of plate tectonic, provides a broader geological context for coral reef formation. So it is important to note that these theories are not mutually exclusive. In many cases, a combination of factors including subsidence, uplift, and plate tectonics contributes to the formation of coral reefs. So when we come next to our class, we will start with blue economy. And in blue economy, we shall check on fisheries and aquaculture, marine biotechnology, renewable energy, maritime transport, coastal tourism, ocean data, and information. And to stop our lesson today, I would like to thank you all for joining us. Kindly subscribe, kindly like, kindly share this video widely so that everybody can get this knowledge. I have been your teacher, Boniface Asava, and that was Introduction to Ocean, Seas, and their coastline. And I have a beautiful day today, so I wish that you had a beautiful day also today. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. To subscribe, I say, tusonge mbele.